Welcome back to my channel. I am your favorite mother of three, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is Love During Lockup. Now I am a little under the weather, so I'm gonna try to breeze through this video because my throat hurts, my nose is running. I'm really not trying to be sat here right now, but I didn't want Friday to come and I didn't film this, so we go stay on our job. So this episode starts off with Ayanna at her mother's house preparing to go to jail for the 15 days, and her grandmother is actually going to be taking Amira, which is her 2-year-old. Her son is obviously just gonna remain with her mother as per usual. Right away, I'm unimpressed with Ayanna, which is no surprise, right? But like, she's not taking this seriously at all. She's laughing, like maybe it's a coping mechanism, I don't know, but like I feel like she just doesn't take it serious, and we gonna see her right back here at any given point, sometime while she's on probation.
Today is the day I'm going to jail, baby.
Like,
they about to put me behind damn bars. Oh my God. This is crazy.
now y'all know I'm unserious, but Ayanna, she is like next level unserious, because this is actually crazy that she is going for the 15 days. But I think what's even more crazy is the fact that it's for a DUI. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that is justifiable about her position right now. So her grandma is taking her daughter. Her daughter's in the back seat of the car, and you know, she's saying bye to her daughter. She'll see her in 2 weeks. The time on the episode was 9:30 a.m. and Ayanna was supposed to be in jail for 11, or she was supposed to turn herself in by 11 a.m. Now this jail that she's going to, you're allowed to have your own bras, panties, you know, personal items. And so Ayanna was supposed to go home and get those things, but I guess she lost track of time and didn't end up going. So before she's going to, you know, turn herself in, her mom brings her to like Walmart or something like that so that she could grab those items really quickly and then head over to the jail. But they're already behind schedule, so this is really not a good start to her sentence. At this point, this girl is running like Nene was, okay? She's running into the store.
All right, I'm going.
She does not get back to the car until 10:45, and that's not enough time to make it to the jail on time. So she's definitely going to be turning herself in late. At this point, Ayanna's mom is annoyed because they're obviously going to be late, and the GPS is saying that they're not going to get to the prison or the jail until 11:30.
Let's go. Drive off. Drive off. You see what's happening again? Come on, drive off. You can see what's happening again. Talk about it. Drive off. No, you're talking. Drive.
She's rude.
Drive. Come on.
I don't even care if she's joking.
Attitude about this.
Now, if I was her mom, I would be annoyed too, because I shouldn't even be dropping you off at the damn jail right now, but here we are. Then of course, while they're in the car, Jamal calls while she's on her way to the jail. Ayanna says that she needs to like calm herself, and she attains that calmness through her man. I said, girl, where is the meditation and the prayer at? Because that is what I would be doing, meditating and praying, okay? Reading my Bible. I don't need to talk to no man before I'm about to turn myself in for 15 days. Like, it's not a thing. It's not happening. Jamal is her God. He really is. She looks at him and depends on him for everything outside of money, you know? Like, she's putting money on his books. Obviously, he's not providing for her like Rob is providing for Teenie. Once they approach the jail, Ayanna starts making a joke with her mom saying, take me back. Turn the car around. You know, I don't want to go. Bring me back home. She's trying to, I guess, lighten the mood and make it not so hard for herself, which I don't blame her. But at the same time, it just adds to the unseriousness of what's going on in her life right now.
Ma, take me back. I'm not going. Turn around. I'm not going. To cry. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Obviously, her mom is disappointed in her daughter. You know, this is not a proud mommy-daughter moment. It's really not. And Ayanna actually has to walk up the hill to save her life. Okay, she's walking up the hill to save her marriage.
She makes, like, stop the bull. Like, come on, get it together. If not for you, for your kids, you know.
Her mama's not wrong.
So hopefully she has time to reflect and plan what she's going to do when she gets out. to be a better person for herself.
So as they're hugging and saying their goodbyes, her mom encourages her to, think about what she's done and how when she gets out, she's gonna be a better person. And Ayanna talking about some girl bye. I was so annoyed. I'm like, not girl bye. Girl bye is very triggering. But like, I just could not believe that she was brushing her mom off, because her mom is not wrong at all. In the next scene, we have Shante and True. So Shante is telling her family how the visit went with his sister and his mother. While they're having this conversation, of course, her phone rings. It's True, and she tells him what his family was saying about him and their relationship, and pretty much telling him, like, they said that she does not know the real him just yet, and she gonna have to learn the hard way. Of course, he tells her that she ain't gotta worry about that. And when somebody tells you not to worry about something, babies, that's when you need to worry about it. That's when you need to worry about it. That is for sure. When that happens, immediately he changes the subject to inappropriate conversation, right? Just like making her feel wanted and desired, which is deflection at its best. Telling her what he's gonna do to her when he gets out in like a week. He talks about going to a sex shop, and then he talks about what they gonna do together after the sex shop. He talks about going out to eat. He's pretty much being a jail nigga. So he's just talking about all the nasty things he want to do at their freak off. And I'm just sat there disgusted, okay? Because I don't want to hear none of this, and I don't want to visualize it either, okay? Because neither one of them are giving me my cup of tea, okay? Her phone is on speaker while all this is happening, of course. And I guess her son left the room, because if she was having this conversation while her son was sitting there, that is a whole mess, okay? Just nasty.
Well, you gonna kiss. Gonna stick your tongue. Boy, no. I'm so used to being in a long distance relationship like this is now. You know what I mean? By me being in prison for 13 years, like, it's gonna be weird, different than I'm sleeping in a bed with somebody.
Now, I definitely agree with this, because I feel like no matter what your situation is, if you were sleeping in a bed with somebody for a long period of time and then all of a sudden you start sleeping alone, sometimes that feels better. But if you were sleeping alone for a long time and then all of a sudden you're sharing your bed with somebody, especially when it's not a cot, it might feel strange, you might have trouble sleeping, or you might get spooked in the middle of the night because, like, who the hell is in my bed? But, True is just expressing how he knows that it's going to be a big change for him going back into the real world after being locked up for 13 years. So in the scene, Shante actually lets us know that the reason she lets a lot of stuff slide where True is concerned is because when she was at her lowest point, he was there to kind of pick up the pieces and help her through those hard times. She experienced some traumatic events at work that were highly inappropriate and, traumatizing. And when that happened to her, True made sure that he was a real, genuine friend to her and stuck by her at that time. And so it's something that, makes her feel almost obligated to stay with True no matter what, or why she accepts behaviors from him that are not conducive to a healthy relationship. Shante actually says that True helped her right out of her depression, and she gives him credit for that. And so a lot of the time when that is the case, we end up with people that, shouldn't necessarily be with, because when we were at a low point, they helped us. And so we feel obligated to stay with them for that reason. But that's really not how it's supposed to go. Sometimes as human beings, we are destined to help each other. We're supposed to help each other. So like if you have a friend or a relative or whoever, and they're in the slums, you use your energy, your positive energy, to cancel out their negative energy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be romantically involved with them, especially if they're bringing turmoil to your life now that you are out of that traumatic situation. They don't have the grounds to create a new kind of trauma in your life just because time when you had a trauma that didn't involve them, they helped you out of that. You're not indebted to them in that way. Shante states that she loves True, and she, doesn't need to validate that for anybody else or explain that to anybody else. She knows that she loves him, and she gonna stick beside him, okay? So in the next scene, Rob's creepy tail self is spying as per usual, and I guess it's early morning and the kids are like gonna go to school, and so he starts talking to them on the cameras and chastising them for sitting on the couch with food or yogurt or whatever it was. Once he finishes spying on the children, he goes up into the bedroom and spies on his baby mama. When he starts talking to Teenie in the bedroom, you could tell that she's upset. She actually has an attitude with him, and you know, she's not happy to hear from him right now because where was he last night?
Baby mama, what are you trying to do for?
I'm not.
I'm just making sure, because you've been in that mirror for a little bit.
I'm cleaning up right now. And I got a bone to pick with you anyway.
Oh, because I didn't call you last night?
Yeah, why the you ain't call me?
Look, I put the phone up last night. The police were tripping, and some guys had got into an issue on another unit. They're becoming more strict.
So what Rob is telling Teenie right now is that they're cracking down on the inmates or the, you know, pods in general, because there have been issues there, and so contraband is not good for Rob at this present moment. Now, this confused me because I thought that Rob was allotted a phone. I thought that he was given a phone because he was a guy in there. You know, they decided that he needed a phone, but it's considered contraband. So I'm a little confused as to why you would have contraband on a TV show. Like, I guess because the TV show wasn't going to air until, you know, Rob was out of prison. But that doesn't make any sense to me that he has been having this phone in there the whole time, communicating, you know, watching the cameras, doing the most, and it's been contraband. I literally thought that he was allowed to have it. So this actually surprised me. So in this moment, Teenie asked him, are you not going to be using the phone as much, or are you just not going to be using the phone at all? And so he tells her, I'm gonna, you know, sell it. I'm gonna get rid of it because it's too much of a risk right now. She explains that if you get caught with contraband, instead of doing 85% of your sentence, you'll end up doing the full 100. And so that's what they're trying to avoid. They don't want to take that risk because Rob is literally 2 seconds away from getting out of prison. Now, you guys already know how I feel about Rob. He tells the producers that there is very much temptation in the prison. This surprised me. I do know that there are some co-ed jails or prisons, but I didn't realize that Rob was in one. And so he speaks to how there are women in there that desire him, and that, you know, he's tempted all the time, but he just loves his family so much. So, you know, he wants his freaking cookies for being faithful to Teenie, right? Which is some bull. Okay, it's some bull. Like, I could not believe that he was stating that, you know, women are throwing themselves at him in the prison. I was just like, really, sir? With your slits in your eyebrows, really?
Can't believe I'm in an actual marriage with my high school sweetheart. Sometimes she'll throw temptation is in here too. There's women in here that drool over me. I've had guys come up to me and say, hey, I just seen you kick that guard out, bro. You've been locked up 16 years. Take her in there. I'm like, hey, I'm married. I know that's easy now, and in the world, it'll be a lot more pressure, 10 times worse. But I really love my family, so that's going to help me get through the struggles.
And this is why a man in prison does not deserve your time, because he's saying that inside of the prison, there's temptation there, and outside of the prison is going to be probably even more temptation. And he's claiming that he loves his family so much, but like, this shouldn't even be coming out of his mouth. Like, you have this lady that's been holding you down for years in there. You know, she kept it G while you were in there. She made herself available. She's opened up, you know, her life to this man, and he's still talking about temptation on the inside and the outside. That should be the last thing that, you know, he's even concerned about. He should really only have eyes for Teenie. And obviously, I know men are not blind, women are not blind either. It's one thing to look at somebody while you're in a relationship and be like, oh, that person's really attractive, but to lust after them is a completely different ball game. Because you can say somebody's attractive, but you don't have the desire to be with them, or you're not tempted to step out on your marriage or anything like that. So for him to say that temptation is available is just so crazy to me. I think it's unacceptable.
Unacceptable!
All in all, this season ends with Nehemiah having to do push-ups because after Rob told his sister to get off of the couch, Nehemiah decided to go sit on the couch and eat his damn yogurt tube. And so Rob, spying, told him he needs to do push-ups.
About eating on the couch. Why are you eating on the couch?
Don't listen. I'll know.
Okay, can I get 10 push-ups for that?
I would be like, screw you, Dad.
10. Count them out. 1, 2.
What makes me the most nervous about him coming home is just the discipline. I just want to see like how he does things. Like he's not just gonna change things around immediately. What you doing? I told him to do push-ups, please. You know.
Like I said in the previous episodes, the daughter is genuinely concerned about when Rob comes home, how her life is going to be drastically changed. And I am concerned for them as well. Side note, next week, well actually this week, is the final episode. I was like, that was quick. Only 8 episodes? We need like at least 12, but it is what it is. The next scene is Andrew and Candace. Candace is eagerly excited and ready to register as a felon. Oh my God, my hands are so dry. I need to go lotion my hands. I'll be right back. Y'all could have told me. You know, sometimes I want to be wrong. Sometimes I want to be proved wrong, you know, just in the sense of giving people the benefit of the doubt, right? And so when it comes to Andrew and Candace, that's kind of where I was at. I wanted to be wrong in this situation because Andrew's such a great guy. Well, at least from the outside looking in, and on the surface, he's a great guy, right? But things were about to head to hell in a handbasket, okay? The body language was undeniably off. I'm about to show you her rejecting his hand. You know, he wants to show affection. She's not interested. Okay.
I know that Candace has a lot of anxiety. We've dealt with anxiety over the phone, but I haven't seen it in person.
Look at the hand. Look at the rejection. And then she laughs. It's so awkward.
Just relax. Like, it makes me feel weird when you're like doing that.
She don't want to hold a man's hand. She don't have to touch her. Now, I told you guys the woman was overwhelmed. And I said that when you're in prison and somebody is offering you everything but they left kidney, you're going to take advantage of them. And we see that situation unfold in its entirety. Candace then goes inside to register as a felon, and then she comes back outside and wants to get something to eat. She expresses that she's not feeling Andrew's, you know, love and support right now. He's offering to share her care and, you know, what it is to be with somebody that actually genuinely loves you and wants to be with you and wants to care for you, and she's rejecting him at every turn. Like, there's nothing about Andrew that Candace likes. In fact, Candace is repulsed by Andrew, and you can see it written all over her face. It's in her body language. She doesn't like anything that Andrew is putting forth, and it makes you feel bad for Andrew. She even goes as far as saying that Andrew treats her like a little girl when she's a grown woman who's, you know, been to prison and she's coming from the trenches. So like, when he talks to her in this gentle way, she's just not used to it. She wants I just want a roughneck nigga all the time. Like, she wants the Lola Brooke man, okay? She don't want Andrew. Andrew's too soft for her kind, and so it's hard for her to digest and accept Andrew for the good man that he is trying to be to her. They get to lunch, and baby, she breaking up with this man, letting him down as easy as possible, I guess, but like, it was a train wreck. It was.
Because I can't handle the feeling of, you know, you did so much for me, but like, I have to like do this maybe without so much help.
I told y'all. See, if I was Andrew, I couldn't eat that food. My stomach would have been in knots. Somebody breaking up with me. My stomach would have been in knots. I would have lost my appetite. I couldn't eat. I don't want this food. I'm not even paying for your food. Pay for your own damn food. I would have been pissed, okay? Like, I would have been pissed and petty in this moment if I was Andrew. So again, at 1841, he's trying to drill it into her brain. This is what a healthy relationship looks like. This is what a healthy marriage looks like. We're going to achieve this together. I love you. You love me. We can conquer the world, baby. He's giving her the speech of all speeches. And it's not giving. Now, when Andrew describes what unhealthy looks like, Candace says, well, that's what I'm used to. And so, girl, wake up. If that's what you're used to, you know it hasn't worked for you in the past. Matter of fact, you're so traumatized, allegedly, that you can't even move forward with this man. Then you need to look at what you've been used to and realize that Andrew is the complete and utter opposite of that. And, you know, I think Andrew is a great guy for Candace, but Candace is just not ready for the guy of Andrew's caliber. not not the Love is Blind reference, but literally this is what she needs, but he's just not what she wants.
I know that you have not been in a healthy relationship before, and I want to show you every day what a healthy marriage and a healthy relationship look like. It wouldn't be healthy if you say, hey, I need space, I need to take care of this, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave. That's not healthy.
That's what I'm used to.
I know.
Like, she said it like that's what she wants him to do.
I feel like I can make this work.
Now, when she starts talking about how she feels like she can make this work if Andrew would just give her space, I said, girl, you was a bold-faced liar. Okay? Because I don't believe that, and girl, you don't believe that. It's not about Andrew giving you space. It's not about, you know, him listening to her when she says, I want to do this alone, or I need to do this alone. It's nothing to do with that. He was a whoops, okay? She was using him for money, and that's why the relationship is not going anywhere. She claims, you know, at some point in this episode that she thought she was in love with him, but no, you didn't. You saw an opportunity and you jumped on it. Just like majority of, you know, human beings led by flesh would. Clock it. Now, as you heard, Candace was trying to break up with him. She's trying to let him down easy, but she's not plain flat out saying, I can't be with you right now, or not even right now. I don't want to be with you. I am sorry. She's not saying those exact words, so he's not getting it. It's not clicking. It's not registering. You know, it's giving slow a bit. So he tells her that they're going to be forever, and she knows that, and he knows that, and I'm just like, your delusion is forever, because the relationship certainly is not, okay? He's hopeless.
I know we're forever, and I know you know that too.
I don't think I can live my life like this.
I'm not leaving you.
Andrew says, I'm not leaving you. Andrew, I don't think you have a choice, sir. She will have you removed off of the premises because she don't want nothing to do with you. This is actually so sad. I feel like Andrew deserves love. I think I want to see him maybe on a different reality show where he gets paired up with the woman of his dreams, because Candace is giving him a warm time. When Andrew says to her that they're going to be together forever, she looks physically ill, okay? She looks like she has damn food poisoning. Look at her. She is like, oh my God, like he's not getting it. Like, what's going on? Anyway, in the next scene, we have Rick and Sam. So, of course, it's the wedding day, and Ricardo is taking Rick to get married. Rick is nauseous, he's nervous, you know, wedding jitters, I guess. He tells us that they only have like 30 minutes to go to, I guess, Justice of the Peace and get married, and so Sam is gonna meet him over there to get they wedding on. When I saw what Sam showed up in, chat, I said she could have got her little cute white dress from Ross, okay? She could have done a little bit more. And she wasn't gonna wear a dress, she could have worn some white pants. She is dressed like it's a regular old day at the halfway house. She's wearing a little plaid button up, you know, I think a white t-shirt. She's wearing jeans. Maybe she didn't have it, but like she definitely could have put in a smidge of effort into her wedding day look. I mean, there they are.
We always talk about our relationship like a fairy tale. I would tell him, come and rescue me from the castle.
Okay, Princess Peach. At the wedding, Samantha looks extremely happy. Like, this is the love of her life, you know. And then I thought it was the cutest thing that Ricardo decorated the Uber to like just married with the cans on the back and the just married sign and everything. But Sam is not in the car with them, so this is actually funny, him and Rick driving around with the just married, because the wife or the bride is not with them.
Do what you had to do, say your vows, and then she had to leave.
Rick don't seem happy, baby.
Oh boy. Look at this, man. Look at this. Advertising that. Cool. Yeah.
Look at that. Just married.
Like that. My man. All right. Come on, let's get out of here.
One thing I love is a thoughtful friend. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Ricardo, okay? I hope that we see Ricardo on a different show. He just seems so happy and jolly. And he just seems like a good time. So shout out to Ricardo one time. He is a good friend to Rick, okay? But yeah, after the wedding, Rick just doesn't seem like he's happy. He doesn't seem himself, like whether it's in the confessional or just talking to Ricardo. Maybe he's sad that, you know, he just got married and he's leaving his bride at the halfway house, but he just doesn't seem like somebody that just got married. So next on the docket, we have Joey and Mike. So since Joey's mom's been in the hospital, his whole entire life perspective has changed drastically, right? And I think when life happens to you, it makes you put certain things into perspective, and that's where Joey's at right now. While he was driving, you know, he was talking about his friends and family members who have somebody to go home to or whatever, and he was comparing his life to theirs and referred to Mike as a bum. He actually said, like, and I'm waiting for some bum to come home from prison. And I was just gagged. I'm like, not a bum. I mean, he's not necessarily wrong, but I was just really surprised to hear him refer to Mike as a bum, because they've been, you know, together for a little bit of time now. And I thought that they was moving forward and progressing in their relationship. Looking forward to when Mike gets out of prison, but Joey is headed in a completely different direction right now. In my notes for the show, I wrote down the timestamp and I said he says a lot. So I don't remember what he said, but I knew that it was necessary to show you guys everything that he was saying in this moment.
I'm waiting for some bum to get out of prison to go hang out with. Life's too short for dumb. You know, is it dumb? I'm hopeful that this guy that's been in prison for 20 years, it's going to get out and it's going to be an angel and it's not going to do any crime and he's not going to go back to that. And yeah, it's dumb.
And so he just gagged me because I was just like, whoa, this is a serious wake-up call he's had. And out of everybody on the show, he was not the person I was expecting to have the wake-up call, honestly. That being said, he meets up with Mike's mother. In their conversation, she tells Joey that, you know, she hasn't been up to the prison in a long time because she doesn't want to see her kid in there, really. And she also talks about how she's tried tough love. She's tried, you know, gentle parenting. She's even turned him in. You know, if there were warrants out for him at any given point and they called looking for him, she would be like, yeah, he's here, come and get him. And she did this because at least she knew where he was and he wasn't dead somewhere, because that's her fear. Her greatest fear is that they're going to call her one day for her to identify his body. And that's because he's a user, right? He's a drug user, so or an addict. And so she tries to understand where he's coming from, but she says it's just not possible for her to understand because she's never done drugs a day in her life. So she is confused as to how her child, you know, maybe ended up this way, and she just can't relate to her own son. Now, Joey states that he is going to the prison the following day, and he just has a lot of unanswered questions, but it's very clear that he is seeing all of the red flags. So in this next scene, Candace and Andrew are still driving, and Candace talks about how Andrew triggers her to the point of wanting to use. So pretty much everything that Andrew does makes her want to turn to crystal meth or whatever drugs that she be using when she's not sober. Now, if you've never been triggered by a man before, you cannot relate. Now, I've been triggered by a man before, but not to the point of using crystal meth, girl. But I understand where she's coming from. The only difference is usually when you're triggered by a person, it's because they are negative. He is positive in triggering her, which means that her demons are getting upset.
Andrew just triggers me. Relationships trigger me. This relationship is triggering me. It just feels weird to me. It doesn't feel natural. And if I keep feeling awkward and uncomfortable, I'm gonna wanna go use. So I know that if I'm putting myself in a risky situation where I feel like I can't handle my emotions, I need to get out of it.
I just don't like.
You can't help but feel bad for her, because when you have a good thing in front of you and you just can't see it because of your own ego or because of, you know, pride or your past, and you let it slip through the cracks. I mean, Andrew is technically dodging a bullet because this woman is unhealed, so she is not suitable for him. But she doesn't see the goodness in Andrew that she should be seeing in a way that is not going to make her want to use him or take advantage of him, because you can see the good in someone and not take advantage of the good that they're trying to bring into your life. But she's just not at that level. Of course, Andrew tells her he's not gonna give up on her. And at this point, I'm like, babe, it's over, okay? Accept it and move on, Andrew. It's painful to watch him, you know, grasping at straws, trying to hold on to her Boonchie cat for dear life. Well, he never even got the Boonchie. So, like, he's trying to hold on to this lady for dear life. And, you know, she really should be looking at it like, you know, I haven't had sex with this man and he's still willing to go to bat for me. Wow, how did I luck out like this? How did I strike gold in this man? But she don't see it as gold, baby. She looking at him like he's a penny made of copper. Like, she is not into whatever Andrew is dishing out at all. And every time I have it paused on her, she's stressed. She's over it. Body language is out the window, girl. She's not feeling nothing Andrew has to say. Of course, Andrew asked her, do you still love me? And I'm just like, it's getting a little pathetic now. Now, him asking her if he still loves her.
You still love me, right?
I just feel like I'm watching the Titanic sink.
Okay, then
She couldn't even say yes with her mouth.
we're good.
She couldn't say yes with her mouth, and he's like, okay, then we're good. So what I'm observing in this moment is that Andrew knows that this woman does not love him, but if she will say that she loves him, he will accept it and be delusional. But she won't even say it at this point because she realizes she doesn't even have it in her to pretend. Once she left prison, this was bound to happen. As long as she was in prison and communicating with him and he's putting money on her books, it made it so easy. She didn't have to see him in person. She gets to control things because she only has to talk to him when she calls. Everything has changed now because now he's in her space and she doesn't know how to deal. She can't pretend anymore the way that she was pretending when she was texting. It's so easy to swindle somebody. As we know, we've seen catfish. You've seen my sugar daddy stories. Like, you know, it's easy to swindle somebody by just talking to them, and she doesn't have to give him anything. Now that she's out of prison, the game has changed and she realizes she can't keep up with her shenanigans. So she's got to just nip it in the bud. When he asks her if, you know, she still loves him, she looks like she wants to crawl into a hole and die. She does not look like she wants to be on earth anymore. She's just like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this. She's literally having an anxiety attack internally, and I can see it and sense it because I've been in that moment where I'm freaking out inside, but on the outside, I'm trying to keep it together, okay? I'm trying to keep it together. Candace makes Andrew pull the car over, okay? She said, pull it over. Okay, pull it over and park it, sir. I need a cigarette. At this time, he asked her, do you want me to come outside with you? And she says yes, which actually surprised me, but I guess it was now or never for her. Candace, she takes a cigarette, she lights it up, and she says, I can't do this no more. I can't do this. I gotta put me first, Lucius. She said, I cannot commit. I can't commit to you. I'm way too busy. I got too much going on, right? You're just gonna have to do something about whatever you got going on. But like, we are not doing this together. This is not High School Musical anymore. I'm out the door, okay? And you're just gonna have to deal.
So much things that I need to do.
So you don't want to be together?
I'm sorry, I just can't do it right now.
I don't know what she's saying right now, baby,
You don't want
because
to just stay together and then I'll give you space and
Begging.
you can figure wheelchair out and then I mean
Begging.
I'll go early and
pathetic.
we're still.
She's like, no.
I can identify like my triggers and like I'm getting triggered.
I was expecting her to be happy and relieved and excited to be out of prison.
No, sir.
But
You're in
Candace
her
is
way.
just spiraling.
This man is in her way like a median in the road, okay? You cannot cross over the barriers. Like, she is just not interested in Andrew, and he's not getting the picture. Even when she says, I can't be in a committed relationship with you, he's still begging her to be in a committed relationship and not realizing she's just talking crap. Like, it has nothing to do with space. But she's going to tell him that because she doesn't want to seem like the bad guy, you know? She don't want to be Chun-Li, okay? Andrew says he does not believe that Candace does not love him. He does not believe that he is the problem, and he is just thinking that because of her past, it's really hard for her right now. So she's done a really good job at manipulating him into thinking that, you know, woe is me, my past is so hard that I'm unlovable and I'm this and I'm that. It's some bull, okay? So then Andrew asks her about the truck and the apartment. She says to him if he wants to take them back, he can. But she's saying that she just needs to get herself right. She needs to get herself together before she can be with him. I don't know why she's telling him this pipe dream because she's not ever going to want to be with him. Defeat. Defeat is the only word to describe how Andrew looks, feels. Like, he is just defeated. And that has been the theme since we were introduced to Andrew. There was just defeat all over this man since Candace got out of jail.
Like, I have to get me right first before I can be with you.
Lie.
And like, I know you had a lot at stake, but it's just not good right now.
But you still love me.
I love you. Like,
Lie.
I still love you. I just need to love you from a distance.
Lie
I
again.
can't be around you 24/7. I just need to be alone right now.
All she do is lie, 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 lie. Okay, call her Delilah. Okay, that's how much she lied. So then he asked her straight up, like, was this just a prison thing? You know, did you use me? Of course, she gonna lie again. She says no, but everything on her face and body said yes. So I'm gonna go with yes. Yes, she did use you, Andrew. And if she not gonna tell you, I will. She been using you for the day you emailed her and the day you sent her a little shmoney for that little pillowcase that she got, or a pillow, whatever the hell she bought with that money that you sent her. From that day, she knew what she was going to do, how she was going to do it, and she executed her plan ever so flawlessly and effortlessly, to the point where you got her an apartment and a car, and now you stuck with this apartment and car in a whole other state, and she don't want nothing to do with you. What? Well, it's time to get back in the car for a very awkward drive because he's going to take her to WellCare. She takes the charger that's in the car because she wasn't sure if she had hers or not. And like, you know, he's so heartbroken in this moment. He's like, just take it. Just take it. You done took my heart and crushed it up into a million pieces. Why don't you take my car charger too? Of course, she asked him if he wants the ring back. He's like, keep it, because what the hell is he going to do with that, ma'am? I mean, you are supposed to give the ring back. You don't have to. In court, an engagement ring is one of the only gifts that you will have to return if the wedding doesn't happen. The wedding didn't happen, so technically she should be giving the ring back. But if you ask the person, do you want the ring back, and they say no, then you keep it. Now, if you thought Andrew was delusional before, you've got another thing coming, because he is so delusional that he sat there and said that they will work through it. Work through what, sir? Like, what are you working through? It's done. It's over with. There's nothing to work through. There's no conversations to be had. She's going to WellCare. She's going to forget you ever even existed. You guys might text regularly for a little while, and you might still send her some money while you back in Jersey and she's over here in Las Vegas. But after a while, it's going to be less texts, less calls, and eventually she's gonna get a new phone and you're never gonna hear from her again. That's just how it's gonna have to be. Anyway, you know Delilah wasn't gonna go nowhere without telling at least one more lie, which was that she loves him. As she was going into the WellCare facility, he said that he loves her. She says that she loves him. And I said, y'all are both dumb as hell. Okay? Because there ain't no love here at all. Love does not live here. Okay? It does not live here anymore. Now, an hour later, she comes out of the WellCare facility to make a phone call. She tells her friend that she broke things off with Andrew. Candace said, I'm single again. Back on my prowl. She thought she was Trina. And then the cat gets let out of the bag. The producers ask her at the 34-minute and 11-second mark if at any point she was ever using Andrew. And you guys, like I said, I wish that I could have been wrong in this situation. This sick lady smiled and said she does whatever she has to do to get what she wants out of life. And I said, yeah, I could tell. I could damn tell. Because I just knew. I saw right through this lady.
Were you using him for money?
Watch the smile. Sickness.
I'm doing whatever I need to do to get what I want in life.
Nasty work.
I always am going to want nice and fine things. So if someone's willing to get it for you, you're going to definitely take advantage of that.
See why I said...
I don't want that.
No. Do you see why I said she had the Grand Theft Auto? She's a thief. And what did she do? She stole from this man, right? Because her criminal record shows what kind of crimes that she's into. She has stolen cars. She has, you know, participated in burglary and whatever the hell else. And her criminal history was a precursor into what kind of person she is. And so this was a red flag that Andrew was ignoring. She's somebody that takes, and Andrew is somebody that gives. And when you put somebody that gives and somebody that takes together, 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to get taken advantage of, and it's the person that is a giver. And so Andrew falls into that category. She also makes a statement about taking advantage of people who give too much. She said that Andrew made it so easy that you can't even call it scamming, which lets us know that her agenda from the very beginning was not, I'm looking for love on this, prison site. Her MO was to find the dumbest man she could possibly find to give her everything that she needs and wants. But unfortunately for her, she's not a good scammer, because a good scammer would still have Andrew in her back pocket, and she would have still been able to get the job done while making Andrew feel like king of the world so that he keeps spending the money on her. But she wasn't able to do that because she is just as dumb as he is, but she thinks that she's smarter than him, and that's where she went wrong. 6 weeks after their wedding, there is trouble in paradise. Okay, so it looks like once Rick returned home from Idaho, him and Sam 1 week later were having a lot of problems, and then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 6 weeks later, the problems seem to just have piled up out of nowhere. I find it very interesting that after they get married, that certain things became an issue. I thought that Sam had a pretty bad attitude a lot of the times on the jail calls, but after watching this episode, Rick might be the damn problem.
The last 2 weeks, Rick's been just not talking to me much at all. He says it's because he's surprised at my financial situation, but I just want a simple lifestyle.
Life is expensive.
One thing I can't do is a cheap man. No, ma'am. Y'all didn't have these discussions before you popped the question and then before you went to Idaho to get married to her. Now that you're married to her, you're finding issue with these things. Keep in mind, they're both close to retirement age, right? Well, he's already retired. She is not necessarily retired, but she's at that age where she's about to retire. However, Rick is like upset that when Sam gets out of the halfway house, she's not going to be looking work. And I'm just like, where he want her to work at? Walmart? Like, I'm confused. She's coming out a felon, right? 2, she's in her older age and, retirement age. Why is he trying to make her get a job when she first gets out? I guess because he already has lost a part of his pension to his ex. He does not want to be in that situation where he's, providing for this lady. But like, I feel like they're way too old to even be concerning themselves with matters like this. And so I'm just confused as to why these conversations weren't had prior to them getting married. He went all the way to Idaho, was complaining the whole time about Idaho, going to Idaho, it's too much money this, too much money that. If you're broke, sir, you ain't got no reason to be getting married. You shouldn't have married her. Like, what? Now, Rick and Sam are on a FaceTime call. While they're talking, his phone rings and he tells her, hold on, you're getting a call. Sam then says, it's probably one of those ladies, and he says it's Sandy. Sandy is like the lady that was all over him at the party. This ends up adding a lot of fuel to the fire because she now feels like this is the reason that he's moving shifty.
How are you? I'm so glad to see you. Maybe that's why it's so easy for you to give up on us. Maybe you are connected with.
I'm not connected with anything.
He's so mad.
The jealousy thing cracks me up. I'll talk to you later. Okay?
Oh, dismiss.
I gotta get going after. Maybe I will. I don't know. I don't want to go through this again.
Ooh.
I got to get going. Okay? Bye.
Ooh, ciao. No, ma'am. Of course, he denies the allegations. He said it's false. He's not connected to anybody. Him calling her jealous and then rushing her off the phone, dismissing her off the phone, not a good move. Especially not 6 weeks after the wedding. Like, I see why both of them have been married multiple times and divorced multiple times. And there's definitely a communication issue here that needs to be resolved immediately. If it is not, this gonna be her, 5th divorce and his 4th? I think his 4th divorce. A mess. And we've made it to the final scene of the night, which is Teenie driving with Nehemiah to pick up Rob from prison. They are very excited, of course. They're, talking amongst each other. And Teenie says that maybe they are a little cuckoo, okay? Maybe they are a little crazy because based on their feelings in this moment, she doesn't feel like the feelings that they are having about Rob coming home are necessarily normal. And I thought this was an interesting thing for her to say.
I'm just happy, but I feel like I should be nervous.
Same. I said the same thing. That I'm like, I feel like I should be. That's why I'm like, maybe we're a little crazy in the head because I'm like, I feel like
you
I
are
should be more nervous than what I am.
You are, ma'am. Yes, a little crazy in the head is right to allow a man to put cameras all throughout your house, spy on you the whole damn time he in prison. Like, no, okay, no. Anyway, they pull up to the prison. And baby, she don't even wait for Nehemiah to get out the car. She sees Rob coming through the gates and she takes off running. Okay, she bolts off to leave. She leaves Nehemiah in the car to fend for himself. Okay, she left him for dead. Okay, look at this.
Okay.
There he is.
Oh.
Look at her. Left her son for dead. Left him. Took off running, left him, watching behind her. You know what? I get it. She's excited to see her man outside of the, you know, prison walls and probably outside of the prison clothes, prison pants. Okay, but you don't leave your baby in the car now. Okay. Anyway, that's it for this episode of A Love During Lockup. My Theraflu has definitely kicked in. I need to go take a nap. Okay. I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.